Welcome to the Blinded Truth podcast. And this is another truth shot where real stories meet real healing. I am your host, Destiny Vance. And today's episode is titled Love and Grief Can Sit at the Same Table. And when I was thinking about this episode, I was like, it's going to be a good one, but I'm going to have to try to get through it without getting teary eyed. And this conversation is for the moments when your heart feels full and heavy at the same time. When you're celebrating love on the outside, but quietly remembering someone you've lost on the inside. And it's also when joy shows up, and so does memory. When you realize that healing doesn't mean choosing one emotion over the other. It means learning how to hold both because sometimes love brings celebration and sometimes love brings tears and sometimes it brings both in the very same moment. This episode is brought to you by Destiny is by Choice because your journey, your voice, and your truth matters. Again, I'm going to try to get through this. So let's talk about it. All right. I want to kind of get real. So, yesterday, as I was recording, yesterday was Valentine's Day. And for some, it was beautiful. Like for some of us, we had a great day. We got flowers, dinner, text messages, all the things, right? But for some of us, it was not. For some of us, it was heavy because love doesn't only show up in romance, right? It shows up in memory and absence and the empty chair at the table. Valentine's Day can be a reminder of who you have, but it can also be a reminder of who you lost. And both can exist at the same time. Yesterday was a good day for me. I felt loved, I celebrated, I was grateful, but I also found myself thinking about our podcast engineer, Bear. He's like a brother to me. He lost his dad last year. And when we were talking, doing some work for the podcast, he mentioned that yesterday would have been his dad's birthday. And I was just like, wow, imagine that. Like, the world is covered in red hearts and chocolate, and your heart is remembering a father you can't call or go see. And that's real, right? For me, as I think about today, which is February 15th, 20 years ago, on February 15th, 2006, I'll never forget the day I got the call and lost because I lost my dad. And everybody would be like, it's 20 years. Like, that sounds like a long time. But in reality, grief does not operate on a calendar. It doesn't care, like, at all. I don't know how many times you try to swing it, but it doesn't care how many years pass. Like, it doesn't ask permission to show up. It just does. And some years it knocks you to your feet. And some years it kicks you right in the face. And this year it feels, for me, different every year. But for me, this year is different. And I don't know if it's because of where I'm at in my life, but I can hold joy and grief at the same time. And I know some people can't do that, but I couldn't always do that. And there was a time that when grief swallowed everything, when holidays felt fake, when celebration felt forced, when smiling felt like betrayal, it was hard. I'm sure you have sometimes felt that. Like, if you laugh too hard, if you enjoy yourself too much, it somehow dishonors the person you lost. And let me free you from something today. Your joy does not betray your grief, and your grief does not cancel your joy. They can coexist. Love and loss are intertwined, right? The only reason grief hurts so deeply is because love existed so deeply. You don't grieve what didn't matter. You don't ache for what meant nothing. Grief is evidence of love. I want you to listen to that again and say it again in your spirit. Grief is evidence of love. So when Valentine's Day rolls around and you feel that sting of like, I don't have nobody or I'm missing this person, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're loved. And when birthdays come and go and the person isn't here, when anniversaries hit, when random memories sneak up on you and you're in the grocery store, I can listen to a song that my dad used to love, which was Jump Jump. Don't ask me who is by, but every time I hear that song, I can remember him listening to it and dancing to it. And I just sometimes weep, but I can see him, but I'm having a good moment. But it doesn't mean that you're weak. It actually means that you're human. And yesterday I was celebrating love. Today I'm remembering loss. And both are sacred for me because both shaped me. My father has been gone 20 years. 20 years of life lived without him physically here. And 20 years of learning how to navigate milestones, motherhood, growth, healing without that voice. That's not light. That's not something you just get over. But here's what I've learned, right? Grief evolves. In the beginning, grief is sharp, it's loud, it takes up the whole room. Over time, it can soften. Not because the love fades, but because you grow around the pain. You don't move on, you move forward. And sometimes you move forward carrying both roses and ashes in the same hands. And that's what yesterday was and today feel like for me. Roses and ashes, celebration and remembrance, laughter and tears. And I want to speak to the person who felt conflicted this weekend, the one who posted the cute picture but cried later that night. I want to speak to you. The one who went out to dinner but stared at their phone, wishing they could text someone who's no longer here anymore. The one who lost a spouse, a parent, a sibling, a child, a friend. I lost a father and two siblings. And here's what I want to tell you, you are allowed to feel both. You don't have to pick one or the other. You don't have to be all joy. You don't have to be all sorrow. You can say, I am grateful, and also say, I miss them. You can say, I'm loved, and also say, I'm grieving. And for the people that tell you that you can't, tell them go drink their water and mind their business, because that doesn't make you unstoppable. It actually makes you whole. And to my engineer, if you ever watch this, which I know you will, Bear, because you keep up even when you ain't working on the episodes, your dad's birthday still matters. His impact still matters. And your grief is valid. And to anyone marking a date today that the world forgot, even if it's later on this month when you're watching this, heaven hasn't forgotten, and neither has your heart. Grief and love cross over because they were born from the same place. Love is the seed, grief is the echo. And Here's the uplifting truth in all of this. The fact that we can still love after loss means loss did not win. The fact that we can celebrate again means grief did not win. And the fact that we can talk about it openly means we are healing. 20 years ago, I lost my dad, but I didn't lose the lessons. I didn't lose the memories. And I didn't lose the strength that came from surviving that pain. And I refuse to let grief make me bitter. I choose to let it make me deeper. I choose to let it make me softer with people who are hurting. I choose to let it remind me that time is precious. Because here's the truth: Valentine's Day isn't just a day about romance, it's about love. And love doesn't end when someone dies, it changes forms, but it becomes memories, it becomes legacy, it becomes the way you show up differently in the world. So if you're grieving today, whatever day it is, feel it, allow yourself to process it. And if you're celebrating today, enjoy it. If you're doing both, you're stronger than you think. Let grief refine you, not define you. Let love expand you, not blind you. And understand that you can carry sorrow and still build joy. You can miss someone and still move forward. You can honor the past and still create a future. That's growth. That's maturity. And that's healing. And it's truth. So remember, your destiny is by choice, not by chance. Until next time, keep walking in your truth. Bye.